Hello and welcome. Today's video is gonna be pretty chill because today we're just gonna look at my stuff. Because I actually dedicated an entire room for Terraforming Mars, believe it or not. We got these three pictures. They are of course representing the Earth tags, the Moon tags and the Jovian tags. The map itself I got printed in some sort of aluminum mix, so it's one big piece. It doesn't fold, so it's actually literally impossible to bring to my friends because it doesn't fit in my car. The board is actually so wide that it's even hard to pass cards to each other when you're drafting and stuff. So to counter this problem, we actually invented this genius device that actually enables us to reach everywhere on the map without having to get up from our seat. Yep. So kort. Nice. Tack. And we have some of the expansions. The Pathfinder expansion is my favorite one. This board is already incorporated into the big board, but if you don't have the big board, you're gonna use this. Oh, and this one I like a lot. This is basically a dispenser for hand sanitizer. I kind of lost the hand sanitizer part of it, but you know, if you find the hand sanitizer and put it up there, it absolutely works. Then we got some of the user-made colonies here. Japetus, Leavitt Station, Vesta. These are our favorites. I also kind of like Mercury and Titania, but they feel a little bit imbalanced. Then we have a tag tracker. It looks nice, but my experience is that you usually only use it to like keep track of a few tags or something if you're running an Earth tag strategy or something. These are weighted iron money. I really like those. It feels so nice in your hand that there's a little bit weight to the money instead of these cheap things you get with the game. And these are some upgrades for like animals and science and stuff. These are kind of nice, but I actually like these more because they have the 1, 5, 10 numbers and they might not be as cute as the other one, but they are much better. And speaking of upgrades you can't live without, I introduce you to their Maister. It's basically like a big astronaut with like an astronaut at its helmet. The only function of the Maister is basically that you can choose your player color. Some would say that the Maister is just really there, but it doesn't really do anything. But I want to defend the Maister here. I think he is actually worth having around still. It's kind of like your grandparents, right? Technically they don't really contribute in any meaningful way, but you know, you keep them around because you love them. That's how I feel about the Maister. Then we got the two card towers here. They came with the Terraforming Mars big box. These are really nice because if you don't have them and you have all your cards sleeved, they're just gonna fall all over the place. So the card towers are actually really cool. I like them. Then we got some preludes and some corporations here. We used to have more corporations, but we kind of sorted out the ones that weren't fun or good enough, or simply just had too much text because we can't be bothered to read all of that. Then we got the water towers over here, and like you probably guessed by now, I actually have like double of everything. I actually got the big box twice, which sounds pretty dumb, but when you're playing on the big map here, you kind of need two of everything. You need double the cubes, you need double the 3D tiles and stuff. And I can actually tell them apart because I have a little Ori sticker on the right one, right there. The Mars over here is like the turn marker. I got it painted. I didn't paint it myself. One of my friends painted it because I suck at painting. But that turned out really great. Then we got some high orbit expansion here. We don't play with that every time, but sometimes we do, and it kind of adds something to the game. I have a little bit of issues with that expansion, but at the same time, they're also kind of fun. Then we got some of these IKEA rolling kitchen table thingies because it's so nice to have extra space for storage, extra space for like all of these weird 3D tiles and stuff. And then we even put a third table over here for even more storage space. And I know this is a big table, right? But Mega Mars is just so huge, so you need all the space you can get basically. Then we got some of the extra maps. And this picture here, if you're curious, that's basically me being bored. So basically I just designed how I wanted my dream gaming hub to look like. Not important. The picture over here is something we put together ourselves. So of course luxury food had to be the bubble tea, and anti-gravity technology is the spaceman farting, which makes no sense. I even got some LED lights that looks like the different planets, but they were kind of underwhelming. This is like the only thing I regret buying. These were not worth it. Of course you also need some additional trading fleets. There are actually some even cooler trading fleets on Etsy where they had a little docking station, but I already had these ones. So obviously no one else gets to play with the Millennium Falcon. That one is mine. Then we also got the USS Enterprise, and this one is like a Klingon ship or something. That's what one of my nerd friends has been telling me. I will say that all the user-made stuff, including the map, is like 3 years old now. So there are definitely newer versions of the map that includes some of the newer fan-made expansions. So if you want to get some of this stuff yourself, I recommend checking out the Facebook group or the Discord group. On Facebook you can definitely find some people who want to sell their user-made stuff, or at least they can point you in the direction of how to get it. So for example, shout out to this guy Robert Solo, who's been pasting in the Terraforming Mars Facebook group 25,903 times. No, sorry, he just made 9 more. 25,912 times. Alright, that pretty much concludes the part that's about Terraforming Mars, but I also have some other games I want to show you, so check out part 2. Så lige Interstellar musik samtidig. Det er vildt godt der. Sådan.
Det er Noctis.
Det er Noctis.